Welcome back to Clear Talk. On this episode, we're going to talk about how to make decisions the right way.
Why being negative is being delusional.
And what it takes to become a confident leader. Now, comment down below for us quickly, who are the top 3 confident leaders you think are living today? Enjoy the show. Welcome back to Clear Talk. I'm your host, Armin Chaffee, and this is my co-host,
Jeanette Oduro.
And this is the #1 show for entrepreneurs who need clarity in their business and in their life. Look, if you like to achieve your goals in life faster than longer and to not spend too much time, energy, and money by trying to figure it out on your own, then on this show, we answer your questions so we can help you get ahead in your goals and in your business. So I'm really excited. Today is, what is this episode, Lauren?
28.
28. 28. That means for 28 weeks, we have been going live every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, answering your questions about entrepreneurship and really about life and yourself and mind and all the guru stuff as well, because we are mystics.
We are.
Especially with the outfit today, so.
Right? The color brings out more, wisdom.
Spiritualism.
If you didn't know, yeah.
Didn't you guys know spiritualism is about how you dress, right?
It's one part.
So if you guys have been following us, by the way, if anyone's been following us from day one, drop a comment down below. Let us know that you've been here. I might send you something, because that's epic. That is over 6 months. Now we're almost into the 7th month.
Yeah.
And my goal specifically is to do this for at least 52 weeks, for a whole year, before I try to stop it or do something new. Because, I have new ideas. I've grown so much since we started, and I want to do different things, but I still want to finish this bad boy until 1 whole year, so that we have 52 weeks of episodes that help out. Isaiah, can you do me a favor? Can you move this, tilt this towards me a little bit? This one? Okay, cool. So right now we're live on that Facebook. Whose Facebook is this?
That's my Instagram.
Instagram. So what's up, Jeanette's Instagram? And then we got my Instagram over here, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, everybody there. And Facebook as well. Love you guys so much. We love you and you love us. And everyone on YouTube, by the way, look, if you're on YouTube right now and you like content on entrepreneurship and you want your questions answered and get thousands of dollars worth of free coaching and mentorship, then hit that subscribe button and click that little notification bell next to it so that you can get updates when we come out with new videos. I'm about to start filming weekly videos, valuable videos on how to build a coaching business from scratch and grow it to multiple 6 figures. So make sure you subscribe to learn and get those videos as well from us. If you're on Instagram, send this to a DM to somebody so they can join the show and have some fun with us. And if you're on Facebook, you already know the drill. Hit that not subscribe button, hit that share button, share challenge.
Share challenge.
Okay, because, don't be selfish. If the show is great and you love it and, it helps you, don't just keep it to yourself. By human nature, when you get something, when you discover something great, you want to share it with the whole world. So share the button, okay? Share the video so that other people can hop onto the show and ask questions as well, okay? By the way, if you have any questions, you want your questions answered live on the show, or you can see it in the edited version on Wednesdays by Thursdays on my YouTube, and then make sure you go to askarmin.com and you can post any question there, and we will answer for you on the topic of entrepreneurship or emotion or mindset or business, whatever it is, okay? And then, if you actually if you submit a question, then I start sending you really valuable emails as well every week on just things that I've learned and coaching you through that as well, which is pretty cool stuff. So yeah, that's awesome. Today we have a lot of good questions today, actually.
Yeah. You want to get right into it?
Yeah, sure. Any updates or anything crazy that the world needs to know?
Honestly, I don't think so, right? The Peel region and York aren't allowed to be going into phase 3 just yet, but other neighboring cities are. So really just navigating this wear a mask lifestyle and be kind to one another, try to do your part. Yeah, man, we're all in this together.
The gym's opened up.
Some, not all. Depends where you live.
Well, my gym, LA Fitness, opened up, but I don't want to go back.
I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't recommend it.
Why would anyone want to go back to a gym? You have to wear a mask the entire time. You have to stay 2 machines apart from each other. It's only like max capacity of 50 people in the entire building.
You have to
anyways.
book a spot, right?
Book a spot one by one. You can't use half the machines because they are too close between each other. So it's like every other machine's open. And then you have like a 1 hour limit too. So like in the middle of workout, they're like, you gotta leave because Bobby wants to come in and work out. So I'm like, why would I do that when I have 2 sets of dumbbells at home, 10 pounds and 20 pounds. Yeah. And if you put 20 and 10 together, it creates 30 in one hand. If you put 20 and 20 together, it creates 40 in one hand. That's how I do my back exercises for 40 pounds because it's heavy enough.
Yeah.
Right? If I really want 50, 60, I just got to hold all of them and I can put them in a bag. I'm just serious. You put them in a towel and you hold the towel.
True.
All of the weights, 60 pounds on one side. So I have like up to 60 pounds worth of weights.
Yeah.
And I have all my exercise. I've been practicing working out at home for the last 4 months, so I know all the exercise from home. Right? And I hit every muscle area. Like right now my arms are super sore because it was arm day yesterday. And so I just do it in my living room. Why the hell would I want to go to a gym and go through all that hassle? Absolutely. Like you can't even use a locker, they're saying. You got to make sure you come. I'm like, what? Like why open up?
Honestly,
what was the point of opening up?
I don't know. I don't think it sounds like a good idea. So
Stupid.
there's so many coaches and personal trainers right now who are offering online solutions. Yeah. One of them, and I'm gonna plug my friend, is Coach
Krishna.
Coach Krish has a great online workout program, guys. Hit her up.
Coach Krish.
With a K.
That's Krish on Instagram. If you want to learn how to work out online, then you go to Coach Krish on Instagram. You send her a DM and said, CLEARTALK brought me here.
CLEARTALK show.
And she'll send us 10% of whatever you buy. That's totally a joke. But anyways, yeah, that's so online is like, I feel comfortable. And by the way, I wake up, I go straight to my living room when I work out.
Exactly.
I jump rope instead of cardio, so I do jump rope now.
Nice, that's good.
So
Great solution.
But it's like so convenient.
Absolutely.
In fact, I always think like I could have just done this from day one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But like it forced us this circumstance to teach us this.
Yeah.
So it's like some things are opening up. The only thing I really am dying for things to open up are spas. I'm
I feel
sad.
like that's so far away.
I'm sad. I really want a spa to open up.
I know the spa you're talking about. And
the spa, I used to go to a spa like...
That one is too... It's going to be really
I know, I get it, but I'm like, that spa,
that
I used to go at least 2-3 times a month. And I loved it. It was like once a week or once every other week. It was so easy. Across my street from my office, I would just go. They have everything. Hot tub, sauna, swimming... not swimming pool, like a big hot tub, sauna, steam room, cold plunge, so I can plunge in whatever, really hot sauna, like super hot sauna. Yeah. Like it burns to sit down, so you just got to stand. And then they have like unlimited food.
Fruits.
Unlimited food. Unlimited buffet.
They're a great spot.
You can eat everything. They have like really good Chinese food there.
They
bring you every fruit. Yeah, I'd be like, I want a plate of oranges. They give you a whole plate of oranges, cut up nicely. Any type of beverages. Any type of snacks. And it has a movie theater room.
It's actually great. It's actually a great
So you just sit down and watch Avengers, eat some oranges and have some tea.
It's a good
And then you go steam room and cold plunge. I'm like... I would spend like 5 hours there sometimes. That was like my greatest gift to myself.
I don't know if you've actually seen the show on Netflix, Down to Earth with Zac Efron.
No,
he does, in one of the episodes, he's in... a
cold plunge?
He does a cold plunge and into the hot tub. And I'm like, oh my God, Armin made me do that at the spa.
It's really good for you.
Yeah, awesome.
So anyways, yeah.
Okay, ready? Questions?
Yeah, I'm ready for questions.
Okay, let's do it.
By the way, anyone on saying hi yet or anything like that?
Oh, my Instagram, I see people saying hello.
Jessica Corey said,
hey, Jess.
Every episode, baby.
Yeah.
Okay,
thanks,
we gotta
Jess.
send her something.
Yeah, Jess
Lauren,
is
can you put like a note reminder, like send Jessica something?
And then we have Ashley. Ashley said, Coach Christian or Donkey.
She's the one. What's my Instagram saying, Isaiah? People are texting me over there.
Well, why don't we just check here? Hold on. I got you. I'm gonna do it on here.
Okay.
Wait, never mind. I don't have apps on my phone. I'm not connected to social media. Just so you guys know, I have to download it to do things. Like I'm downloading Instagram right now because I don't have it on my phone.
We have a lot of comments on Jay's. We have a comment from Jess B. Jess B said, "Looking beautiful, Jeanette."
Thanks, Jess.
We have a lot of people giving you hearts. I like this. We have another comment from Paul. Paul Litwack.
Paul Litwack. Hi, Paul.
Litwack.
Is that the same Paul?
Looks like you're having fun. GTG will catch the replay.
Awesome. Great to see you, Paul.
Gotta go.
It's that
That's
Paul.
GTG.
Yeah.
You know that Paul? That Paul taught me one thing years ago. He was like the first.
We met him when we were 19.
He's an NLP coach.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's when I remember him from.
Yeah.
He taught me one analogy that allowed me to understand like why you need a coach. I'm gonna share it.
Yeah.
I still remember it. 2 things he taught me. One thing every day in my vlog I used to say, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
And one day he was just consulting me for free, helped me out a lot. And he says,
he consulted us for free.
yeah, for a lot. And he gives on my phone. He's like, you say it's going to be a great day, but you never tell your subconscious mind that it's going to be your great day. And I'm like, oh, that's so true because I'm saying it's. So what if it is a great day somewhere else, but not for me? So I started to say, because of him, I started to say it's going to be a great day because I'm going to make it one.
Yeah, that's why you changed it?
Yeah, so I changed it.
Wow.
So that's one thing he taught me. The other thing, and I was in Vancouver at that time. The other thing he taught me, it was so brilliant. He taught me how to how to visualize, okay? Because I'm like, I can't visualize. When I close my eyes, I see nothing. And he goes, well, can you tell me what's on your vision board at home? Do you have a vision board? I'm like, yeah, of course. He goes, what's on it? I'm like, well, it's one of my dream cars, an R8. He goes, what does it look like? I mean, it's white, it's black, all this stuff. And he's like, how do you know? I'm like, well, because I remember. He goes, but how do you remember? I said, what do you mean? Like, it's on my wall, my thing. But he's like, you're not looking at it right now, so how do you know? Where are you seeing it?
That's where you got that story.
Yeah, that's where I got it
He's
from.
the one that helped you, like,
yeah, this guy, yeah.
Paul Litwack.
Paul Litwack?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I said, well, I see it. He goes, where do you see it? I'm like, I don't see it in my mind. He goes, you do, but it's so quick you can't notice it. So when he made me realize that, I'm like, oh, so I am visualizing. I just didn't log into it. I'm sorry, I'll do it. Because I have to log in. But what I realized was I am visualizing. It's just so quick and I'm not used to it that I think I'm not. So he made me realize I'm actually visualizing. When you remember things and you can visualize what your living room looks like, that's visualizing. It's just so quick you don't realize. And so he's like, you got to practice the muscle visualizing. So I started to, and now I can like watch a whole movie in my head, all made up on my own. That's the second thing he taught me. The third thing, this is the actual thing I was going to talk about, is one time he gave me this analogy and made me understand the mind and why you need a coach. Okay, watch this. I go, he goes like this to me. He was saying, I'm like, why would I need like a coach if I can learn this stuff like on my own? I said something like this, and he goes, well, imagine like a bird in a cage. The bird can fly. It knows it can fly, but it's in a cage its entire life, and this cage is 4 walls of this cage boxing it in. So it's never had to fly in the sky. It's never had to leave this cage. But imagine I came and I took this cage away from the bird. What would happen to the bird? And I'm like, well, it'd probably go insane because it doesn't know what to do. If it's in the middle of the air, it might fly just in circles. He goes, exactly. And that is exactly what happens to your mind when a coach or somebody opens it up, but you have no guidance on what to do with it. I'm like, that makes so much sense. So every time I remember that analogy so much, and I realize I'm like, yeah, if I remove the barriers or the limitations of the mind for a person, they need guidance after on what to do because they're going to be in midair not knowing where to go. Mm-hmm. So it's because your mind has been always within the borders or the parameters of your beliefs. If you remove those beliefs, now you're like, what do I do? And you go crazy. So he taught me that a long time ago. It was actually really interesting.
But that is so huge because I think when you are first getting into personal development, you genuinely start to open up your mind, and it is extremely difficult to navigate that road if you don't have guidance. A lot of people say once you've opened up your mind, you can't go back. It's like you've opened up the Pandora's box, and it's like, holy crap.
Yeah, you can't unlearn.
You can't unlearn it. So you got to just keep pushing. The only way out is through, right? And the easiest way to get through that is with a coach or a mentor or someone who's going to kind of guide you along that process. So that's so interesting. I was having that conversation over the weekend.
Haul it back. Good times. So I have us up, but I can't see anyone's previous comments.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll see from now on.
Yeah, that's right. All right, cool. Let's get into questions. It's a question mark.
Captain Hook. Okay. So.
Wait, before you start, I'm so sorry. We have another comment from Rock and Jojo. Scarcity Mindset. That's what she said.
What's this? Who is she from? What platform?
From Facebook.
Scarcity Mindset.
My Facebook? What do you mean?
Maybe she wants more context on it.
No, I don't know. What do you mean by scarcity mindset? Can you explain? Comment what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, is that a question? Is that a comment?
Elaborate, and I'm going to ask the first question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, been studying the chapter of decisions in Think and Grow Rich for quite a bit, but I still feel like I need some more practical advice to actually become a better decision maker. I talked to some of my mentors, and none of them have a system of operations for making decisions. Yeah. So I'd like to get your knowledge or experience on the subject of how to make great decisions. P.S. Love and miss you, bro. Carlos Burgos.
Carlos, do you know who this guy is? Do you know who this guy is?
No.
He was my high school basketball coach.
Really?
Young superstar.
That's so cute.
I didn't make the cut in grade 9. He was the coach. No, we're good friends.
Of course.
But, like, I wasn't good enough. Mm-hmm. And he was the coach, and I was dying to work with him because he's so good, man. He used to play at LA Fitness, and his brother, Carlos Burgos, right?
Carlos Burgos, yeah.
Carlos.
Maybe somebody else?
No. It's him. I'm just wondering, what's his brother? I'm totally blanking on their names. There's a brother. There's two brothers. The younger one was Carlos. Carlos was my actual friend in high school. Never mind. He's not my basketball coach. His brother, I don't know why I'm blanking on his brother's name. Weird. Anyways, the Burgos family. How about that? Miss you guys. And miss you, man. They live in Colombia right now.
Oh, nice.
So I haven't talked to him since high school. But Carlos, wow, man. Yeah, Carlos, sorry. Carlos is the friend. My friend from high school. His brother, I can't believe I'm missing his name.
Coach Burgos.
Yeah, obviously. God, because he watched the sex transmutation video, he commented on it.
Oh yeah.
Can you check the YouTube? Can you check the YouTube one on sex? The how to use sex to achieve your goals? Because he commented on it. Tell me his name. That's his brother. Unless it's him. Anyways, my point is, great question, man. And thanks for watching the show, man. It's been a while. We should catch up. One of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. One of the funniest individuals. I laughed so hard throughout high school because of this guy.
I love it.
He's hilarious. I hope he's still the same too. So, okay, so the question is in one sentence.
How to make better decisions, or do you have a system of operations for decision making?
Yeah, you develop the decision making muscle the way you develop anything in the body. In fact, any habit you want to develop, think of it like a muscle, okay? Because a muscle never happens overnight. You can't instantly. There's no hack to it. It is literally repetition, consistency, and persistency over time, and then you see the effects of the muscle coming in. So decisions, mental muscles, are things like decision making.
Yeah.
You get better at it as you do more of it. So, I would study people like Barack Obama. He used to make decisions. He said he made 300 decisions a day or something.
Yeah.
I'm like 300 decisions a day, and that would literally deviate and move the country's direction. And so he's like, he got really good at making decisions because he did it so often. So most people, look at the opposite, by the way. The average person who is dealing with just lack of motivation in their life, no purpose. Maybe they're just very drifting. They're drifting, right? These people don't make decisions, like ever. If you think about it, they're very away from making decisions. But decision is the starting and the ending point of everything. So it's like your life is made up of the decisions you made and then which ones you execute and stick with. That's literally your entire life. So I would get better at it. The way I got better at it is I started to just make decisions quicker. Like it was small things. Like I would go out to eat and I used to hesitate on what to just choose to eat. And I put myself in a position where as soon as I would see something, I just get that one, and I was totally okay, and I was acceptant of the result. So the only reason why someone doesn't make decisions quicker or doesn't make decisions as much is because they're afraid of the result. What if they make the wrong decision? Yeah. Where does that come from? School. School teaches us don't make the wrong decision. Because if you make the wrong decision or wrong answer on a test, you fail. And if you fail, parents criticize you, you're stupid, all these bad things happen. But it's like in real life, making decisions and failing more often is normal, and it's actually natural for success.
Absolutely.
If you look at a professional baseball player, they make millions of dollars. Do you know what their average batting rate is? Out of 10, they only hit 3.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like 30%, right?
Yeah, 30%. So they have to, but you're missing this. They have to miss 7 times to become a professional $1 million baseball player in the baseball league, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? That 30% of the time they only succeed, 70% they fail. And then people out here are afraid of making the wrong decisions and failing, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
So think about that guy. He had to do 10 decisions to swing and hit the ball, and he missed 7 times. So imagine in your life, you have 10 decisions a day or whatever, or a week. Well, you're going to miss probably 70% of them. I'm just giving you an example, but it's okay because the 30% is what makes up your good life. So, the whole thing is you got to do it more. So you start with the smallest decisions. And the way you handle the small decisions is the kind of habit you built on how you handle the big decisions. It's very important. So I started from just deciding what to eat faster, to what to wear faster, to what to say to something faster. I started getting good at deciding things faster. I started to force myself to just make up my mind quicker in situations where I didn't know. But I'll do my research if I need to think about something, right? I'll have the intelligence behind what's better, but I just make a choice because there's 2 moments of a decision. There's 2 parts of a decision. The first part is figuring out the information you need to make the decision. That's the first part. Like if you ask me if I want to do something in an opportunity or to buy something, I have to think about the factors that matter and the cause and effect of that decision first. But that's okay. That takes maybe time sometimes, maybe it doesn't, who knows? But the second part is completely unnecessary. It's once you have gathered all the information you need about the decision to make, but now you're just worried about making it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you know everything you need to know about it. You're pretending like you don't because you're just afraid. It's just fear is holding you back from making up your mind. Why? Because you start thinking, what if? So that part you have to get really good at pushing out and just stop having. I don't remember the last time, like, I'm not perfect. I'm saying it's probably happened a handful of times, but in the last 3-4 years, I honestly can't remember how many times I made decisions where I worried about what would happen before. Yep. I just got myself into a habit of just making up my mind. And here's the key, combining it with accepting whatever happens is good.
Yeah.
It's actually the formula of like peace of mind when you make decisions. Make up your mind quickly when you have all the facts that you need. So make it up right away as soon as you know. Yes or no. Should I do this? Should I do this? Or whatever. Should I pick this? Should I pick that? And combine it with acceptance. I accept no matter what happens, it'll be fine. So now you have no fear. There's no room for hesitating. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's my answer. Like you got to start with small decisions, and then you get better at it as you go. And then it's like one day it's like it's not if you want to eat, a chicken burrito or a quesadilla. It's gonna be down to like, it's because I always use the burrito example because
you love burritos.
Yeah, but I used to hesitate on what I want in my burrito, like what kind of burrito. Okay. That was like where I learned this from. I'm saying that's where I started to decide faster. But it's not. It goes from that to like which angle to take your business in. What opportunity to put all your eggs in, in the basket, right? Mm-hmm. What investment to make, put all your money in, or whatever. What person you're going to commit to be the one and develop a relationship with them. It becomes like that. Then you make up your mind as soon as you know. You know, it's funny because like right now I'm seeing someone, and they're like very different than me. So I have this habit of making decisions, and I'm quick, right? I'm quick. I just make up my mind. I trust it's all going to work out. I have faith in the long run, and I have no fear.
Yeah.
Not that she has fear, but she does hesitate because she hasn't developed the habit I've developed. It's just that's I've worked on this for years. But it's funny to see the difference because sometimes she goes like, you move so quick. I'm like, well, I can move quick when I trust it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
The only reason why someone moves really slow in a relationship is because they're afraid. They're afraid of what's going on here. Oh, it's your alarm? Is that reminding you to do something? You could just swipe it up, man.
No. Just press dismiss. Sorry, guys.
It's so cute. It sounds like a baby thing.
No, mine is because I don't like harsh alarms. I like them to be pleasant,
Yeah. So it's just interesting because like when a person has hesitancy, it's because they're worried, they're trusting, they can't trust the future. So my thing is like because my decision, I've developed it with trust and acceptance that whatever happens, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I move quick. Time is very quickly. Okay? There's a book you should read called Speed of Trust.
Ooh.
Really good book. And it pretty much convinces you that trusting people faster is more beneficial for you in the long run than if you take long to trust them.
That's such an interesting concept.
You know who told me?
No.
Paul Galkowski.
Really?
Told me about it 4 years ago, and I remember I'm like, what an interesting concept. He's like, yeah, bro, you're like that though. I'm reading this book, you're like that. I'm like,
I think I'm like that too. I give people, I just trust them right away, and I'm like, I will trust you until you prove otherwise.
Doesn't mean someone's not going to screw you over.
Exactly.
It will happen eventually. There's people that just have bad intention and whatever, right? But it's like you benefit and profit more from making decisions to trust people faster.
Yeah. Absolutely.
To trust people faster than if you try to prolong everything and try to be skeptical. So you actually get ahead faster if you make 10 decisions to trust 10 different things.
Yeah.
Like 3 of them working out, it gets you ahead more than the person who's still worried about the first one. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's another good book to read. So that's my answer to Carlos. Yeah.
But you said that concept on the other episode, CLEARTALK episode. You said you start everyone at 100, and then once they do something, you just break it down.
Do you know where I got that from?
Where did you get that from?
I was like in grade 2 or 3, and Miss Amar, I still remember her name. Miss Amar was one of my favorite teachers at school because she was so nice. And we were doing spelling. It was like an English class or something, or a spelling class. I don't know. But I remember we do spelling tests in there. Mm-hmm. I remember that because that was the day, man. You show up, you gotta spell out 10 words. Don't mess them up. I used to love that.
Me too.
And I used to score when I got 100. I'm like, yo, and I get one word wrong, I'd be so pissed, But I remember in that class, the first day of that class in the semester or whatever, how grade school works, or I don't know. I was in grade 2. she says this, and I never heard this before, and it stuck with me forever. Because I grew up in like a social environment where I had to prove myself a lot. So I was very insecure. I had to grow up with like proving that I'm not stupid, that I'm smart, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I had no concept of being smart already. I thought I always had to prove that I am. And I sit in this class, and my teacher looks at me. She looks at everyone in the class. She goes, "Everyone's starting this class with 100%, with an A plus, because back it's not percent, right? With an A plus." I'm like, for a moment, I'm like, what? I've never had an A plus in my entire career of grade 2. You know, like I've never had.
Wow.
I'm serious. I'm like, I've never had an A plus. I never thought I'm worthy of it. Like I always work hard, but I always mess up, and I think I'm stupid because of it. Because I was like also in ESL or something. They thought I couldn't speak English because my parents were immigrant, right?
Yeah.
And she said, "You all have an A plus." I'm like, "Oh my God, that's exciting!" And then she goes, "All you got to do is keep it." I'm like, "What does that mean?" You know, I'm sitting there like so excited as a kid because now my self-worth has gone through the roof because this teacher tells me I have the highest mark in the class with everyone else.
Yes.
And she goes, "Pretty simple. Work really hard and make sure you ace everything. If you ace everything, you'll keep an A plus. If you fail something or get a lower mark, it just goes down over time."
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got that concept. And you know what? How hard I worked on class. You know, I was my highest marked grade class because I started with the confidence that I already made it.
Absolutely.
And then I went ahead and I acted like the person who would have an A plus, and I would study and I would hit my test and my spelling test. So I did really well. I cared about the marks.
That's a great lesson.
Interesting psychology.
Great.
She changed my life, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have a comment from Rock and JoJo. She gave you the context that you're.
Give me 1 second. Let me finish the story so I close it up, and then we'll talk about this. So I took that lesson, okay, and I took it into my life.
Yeah.
I realized I'm like, when people start from 0 and have to work their way and earn 100, what happens is psychologically or confidently, they have to prove something. Mm-hmm. When a person starts at 100 and just has to keep it there, you are setting them up to already believe they've won. Mm-hmm. So you know what I started to do? I remembered this as a flashback when I was like 19. I was like 18, 19. I started like sales jobs. I remember I told myself, I wrote myself a check.
Yeah.
Right, for the money I wanted to earn at the end of the year. And I would date it by the end of the year. And I would tell myself, I already have this money. I already earned it. All I have to do is make sure I go work every day to make sure I keep it.
Yeah.
So what would happen is I would start with the confidence that money's already there. And when I started coaching people, I would ask this question. Here's a good question to ask yourself. Imagine I write you a check for the amount of money you want to earn, $1 million, 100,000, whatever, and it's dated by the end of the year. So there's no question whether you're going to get it or not anymore. What would you like to do to earn it? Now the person thinks differently. Mm-hmm. They go, well, if I already have the money, I'd rather go do this thing I love because I'll make the money anyways.
Almost always the answer like that.
Almost. And I go, so then that's what you got to do because that's what your heart is taking you to and that's what you'll work hard at. Yeah. And so that's how I built my life from a young age. I'm like, what would I want to do? I want to do this if I made that money. To this day, this entire team here, they have goals. They have a check, a handwritten check from me without a signature with the date of when they want that goal by. It's already given to them. Why? Because this one lesson from this teacher taught me that if everyone starts with the idea that we've already got what we wanted, they work differently. They don't work with stress or proving anything. They work because they already are worthy of it. So they just gotta show themselves and do it. Yep. So everyone actually has a check. Myself and my entire team, one by one, each have a check for what they want to earn, right? And that's how you should like go into mindset of things. Anyway, so comments on that?
Yeah.
And then we're going to do the comment there. Yeah.
Sure. So decision making for me used to be very difficult because I had anxiety about everything. I was like, oh my God, if I make the wrong decision, all of these things are going to happen. My mind would go like in spirals all the time. So I started to ask myself, and it was the very first question that really helped me put things into perspective was, what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst possible thing that can happen? And this is just how I started to make better decisions. I would just always ask, what's the worst possible thing that can happen? What's the best possible thing that can happen? And then I would do it anyways. So I started that really young, like when I first started making decisions that mattered, I would say at like 18. And I would run that process throughout my head, and it just allowed me to start making decisions a lot faster. I wasn't worried about them anywhere because I was like, okay, well, I know what's the worst possible situation that can happen. And you know what? I can handle it, right? The first thing that Armin said was like, you have to accept it no matter what. And I was like, okay, if I know that this is the worst possible thing that can happen and I can accept it.
There's no fear anymore.
F it, basically. Yeah, and I would just do it. Yeah.
You just do it.
None. Because I was like, okay, well, I know what the worst possible outcome is, and I know I can handle that. So let's do it anyways and then see what happens. So that was the first process of how I started to run making better decisions in my mind. And then once you start to get into the habit of it, you start to notice certain things. And that's when your intuition will come into play. You know, the more you learn, the more you read, the more you grow and develop. And the more you kind of come and hone in on what you genuinely want to be doing is when those decisions become easier to make. And then you'll feel it. Like it's you'll get to a point, it's like the sweet spot, and then you can't even describe it anymore. You'll just know. You'll just kind of know what decisions you should be making, right? Information gathering is a huge part of that. Let's not neglect information gathering, like depending on what the decision is. But once you gather the information and you're like, okay, what's the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? Is this going towards my goals? Armin asks that questions a lot. Is the decision I'm about to make helping me go towards my goal, helping me go towards my future? I qualify decisions,
but that's like the next level.
That's the next level, yeah.
Getting good at making decisions is the first step.
Yeah.
Because you got to get good at just making decisions, whether they're good ones or bad ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next level is like, how do you organize what decisions to make?
Yes.
And that's like what we talked about. You got to always ask. I don't remember, but you got to ask yourself, is this decision going to take me towards my goal or away from it?
Yeah. And
that's how you make decisions. So don't do anything that takes you away from your goal. And you obviously need to know your goal then. And so it all reverse engineers to like, what do you want? But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
So those were huge questions that I would start to ask myself. And my intuition would just start to come into play, right? I would know this decision is a good one. This decision is a bad one. And you know that you know. Even when you were a kid, you knew when you were about to make a bad decision because you feel it in your gut. It would churn and it wouldn't feel good. So like that feeling doesn't go away. It'll only grow as you get older and as you start to listen to it more. Your body a lot of the times is your natural compass if you're listening to it. If you know that you're about to make a decision that does not serve you, your body will react faster than you could even think about it.
Yeah.
Your stomach will turn, maybe you'll get sweaty, you know, but you just have to start to pay attention to what your body is thinking in these moments. If you start to become more like one with yourself, to not even get woo, but as you start to grow, develop, and get closer to your goals and all of the above, working in the habit of, wow, this is a decision I'm going to make, I'm okay with the outcome. This is a decision I'm going to make, I'm okay with the outcome. And you start to accept that failure is inevitable or failure may or may not happen.
Has to happen.
And then you just become more comfortable and confident. As even if the decision turns into a failure, turn it into a lesson, then you just keep rocking.
Yeah.
But that would only happen as you start to build the habit decision by decision, right? Start to take a note of these specific things when you are making decisions. How does my body feel? Do I feel excited about it? I'm about to make this decision. Okay, I feel good. I feel happy. Okay, worst case scenario, this happens. I can deal with it. Okay, let's go. And then you do it. And then you see how it feels. See what happens. Make a note of it. Write it down. And like that habit just kind of continues to go until you're like a decision-making machine.
Can you read this question one more time? I want to make sure we answered it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, been studying the chapter of decision and Think and Grow Rich for quite a bit, and I still feel like I need practical advice to actually become a better decision maker. I talked to some of my mentors, and none of them have a system of operations for making decisions. So I'd like to get your knowledge and experience on the subject of how to make great decisions.
So I think we answered that.
Yeah.
How to start making better decisions and how to organize your decisions. Which one is going to take you towards your goal? So if you're reading Think and Grow Rich, and you got to know your definite purpose, right? And it's crazy, man. So last thing before we move on from the question, when I was in depression, I picked up the book, and instead of reading it from the beginning, I skipped to the chapter on decision.
Wow. Right away, eh?
Yeah, and I started from, I skipped to a chapter on persistence, which is right after decision and Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
And I started reading from persistence to the end of the book, and that's what helped me get out of depression. Then after I finished it, I went to the beginning and read all the way to decision. So I read up to the chapter before the chapter I started. Mm-hmm. And it was like in March or something I finished decision. I read it, I'm like, wow, what a simple concept. But the chapter is not telling you how to make decisions. It's telling you that decision is the most critical part of this entire thing.
Just decide, yeah.
The how-to is simple. Just keep doing it. Like, my most confusing thing about people's questions is that when they ask questions about things that are instantaneously done, like, how do I think differently? You just do. How do I make decisions? You just do them.
Yeah.
How do I stop this? You just stop. And he goes, it's not that simple. When someone says it's not that simple, it's because they're married to the misery of where they're at and they're not willing to let it go. You have to accept the fact that, like, you have to be disgusted with what decisions you're not making or whatever to make decisions to change. But leverage has to be there, emotion behind the decision. You have to have reasons to make decisions. So, anyways, I hope we answered your question, but that's good, man. If you're reading the book, if you want ever, man, hit me up personally on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and I'll give you even more of a detailed understanding of how to, make decisions and, help you out with that. Yeah.
I would also recommend that he takes a look at our last episode because we talked about that as well, right? how far you have to get before you're like, you know what, I have to make this decision.
Yeah,
I have
100%.
to make a change.
Cool.
So check out last week's episode too, because we talk about it then.
Let us know what
So
everyone's saying.
What about this though? What about you remember when you talked about the turning thing in your stomach?
Yeah.
It's basically like when you're standing in front of like a 30-story building.
Sure.
And you're standing right in front of it and you could almost fall. The breeze is flowing by you. You can feel like if you slip, you could fall. That same turning is right there.
It's very very similar.
That's the turning. That's the same feeling that people get when you're about to make like a huge decision.
Yeah.
So that usually stops
said
many. That usually stops many from moving forward. So how would someone do that if that turning comes into their stomach and
You still make a decision.
still go for it? Like how do you just overcome that feeling?
You don't. It's not meant to be overcome.
It's meant to be acknowledged.
Yeah, just like, oh, it's there, okay. And then you make a decision.
Yeah.
Leaders act in spite of fear.
Yeah.
Yo, you guys think like there's some magic formula to getting rid of emotions? There isn't. Let me end your search now. There is no magic pill, nothing that will take away bad and good feelings. Those feelings are going to be there for the rest of your life. You got to learn how to notice them, know what they mean, and you give a meaning of what it means. I can feel that stomach thing in my thing and go, I'm not ready. I can also feel it and go, I'm ready now. So how you decide to perceive your emotions is what's going to cause you, what's going to hold you back or step you ahead. There is no way around the pain. The only way around it is through it. So you go through the emotion.
Yeah. Your emotions are...
You guys are like, how do I do things that are hard without the hard part?
It's going to be hard forever, okay?
How do I make scary decisions without the fear? You don't. They're called scary decisions for a reason. You have to have the fear.
It's a part of it. It's a part of it.
Right? It's like, but over time, you get so used to making those decisions, it becomes normal to you.
Absolutely.
And then the feeling isn't scary. But everything in the beginning of anything is scary. Because it's new. It's unknown.
Yep.
So my answer again is just start doing it more. The more you do something, the better you get at it. What was the
comments?
Yeah.
So
going back to the
comment from Rock and Jojo.
Yeah.
So sorry if I'm butchering your name.
It's alright.
Looked up. So basically, locked up in a cage, you have a scarcity. You have a scarcity mindset. So once you get out of the cage, you are overwhelmed and don't know where to.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what it means.
And a coach can guide you. Then you must learn to make decisions in 5 seconds to move forward and grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
We have another one from Lena. Lena said, "Hi guys."
Hi, Lena.
And then she also said, Armin looking good, my friend.
Thanks.
And we have another comment from Jessica Corey. Jessica Corey said, I realized that concept this weekend after Reborn. Woo woo!
Reborn online! Sorry.
I have to go into an interview, so as if I already have the position and not with the mindset of I have to prove myself to the agency.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Lena also said, so true, beautiful. Lena also said, I used to ask myself that last year all the time. Finally, it's sunk in. Thank you so much, guys.
Awesome.
Basically, she had a breakthrough.
No problem.
Awesome, Lena. Thank you for that. Isaiah, I know that Armin's Instagram has some comments too. I don't know if you can come around and take a look at those.
I can see them. Or else I would.
But this is yours, yeah. So, and something that when you were talking, it actually reminded me because I was looking at my my Snapchat memories.
Yeah.
This time last year, we were at an ESSA weekend.
Were we?
Yeah. This time last year, it was July 26th, right? ESSA
Oh,
weekend.
yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome. But
Oh my God.
We were going over the example because Armin teaches this concept in ESSA is that, you know, when you first start to speak on stage, you'll be scared. It'll be a lot of fear. But then you change that emotion to excitement. Yeah. And that's kind of what we just talked about as well, right? Like the fear is not going to go away, but the meaning that you attach to the emotion is what will help you navigate through life more effectively, right?
It's called perceptual pivoting.
Yes.
Take your perception and pivot it just an inch. You have a whole other reality coming out of that. You can look at, there's a famous story about two brothers. And one of the brothers were very, very rich and successful. The other one was homeless and on the streets. And this really famous brother, he was in the news all the time. And so the news channel actually found out about the twin brother that's homeless. And they go, oh my God, we got to go meet this guy because his brother's like this all-time big person. And they go and find this guy on the street and they ask him if he can interview him and he agrees. And in the interview, they ask him one question. What happened? They're like, what happened? You guys came from
the same place.
Same place. You guys are twin brothers. You even look the same. How did your brother end up here and you ended up here? Pretty direct. But the brother responded with, he said, it was my father's fault. Because my father was an alcoholic. He used to beat us every day. And he beat the confidence out of me. And I lost all my hope in my life. And I ended up like him. And they were like, fascinating. So they go back to the successful brother and they interview him to say, you know, I hope you don't mind. We interviewed your twin brother. They're like, what? He's like, what the F? You know, that's not cool. Because it's not good for him, you know? And they go, well, we're just curious. Your brother said, you know, this is why he failed in life. Why do you think you got to where you're at being so successful? And he goes, well, it was my father's fault. It's because he used to beat us every day. He was an alcoholic. And he made me realize and gave me the motivation to never want to be like that. And this story, moral of the story is very simple. How you decide to look at things is the way you're going to treat them and what it's going to do to you. It's not what happens to you that changes your life. It's how you look at what happens. And the way you look at things is going to be the way you live and the quality of what you do with yourself and your future. To this day, there are people every day misconceiving, misperceiving, and misdiagnosing problems and things happening in their lives. And because of the way they see the things, they allow that to bother them inside. And that bothering ruins their life.
Yeah.
That's why we do the Reborn Experience, because we're doing the online program right now every week, right? And we got these group of people getting on, amazing people, great potential, but all these things that have happened and are happening that they're misperceiving, misdiagnosing as holding them back from their goals in life and being really happy in life. And so my job is, as a coach, to be able to help them maneuver out of it and help them see things differently. If I could do that successfully, they free themselves and their minds become uncaged.
Yep.
They get to live a life with peace of mind and success. And there is such a thing. You can't live without doubts, insecurities, fears. I have this, like, apparently it's a thing where people are like, no, you have to have fears. I'm not saying I don't have fears. I just don't live with them. Yeah. Like, they don't have a place in me. Mm-hmm. So when they show up, they leave really quickly. That it's an unwelcomed guest, right? And some of you are like, fear is a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's only good for one place and one time in your entire life. When you're in such a low place, you're afraid of dying, so you run. You run out and try to change things. After that, it's useless. That emotion drains you. It doesn't make you think intelligently. It makes you think irrationally. It makes you not believe in things. It makes you lack faith. You can't have fear and faith at the same time. It's impossible. So, anyways, great question. Huge. What's the next question?
Is there anything about your business that keeps you up at night? Or things that still bother you?
Bother me?
You always seem so worry-free. That question is from Asaf M. Asaf.
Yeah, I don't know how to... I'm just going to pretend like that's his name. Asaf. No. Nothing bothers me. When I say that, I feel like some people watch and they go...
They do. They probably do.
Two types of people watch me and say that. One is like, he's full of it. Yeah, right, sure. Armin's perfect. And then the other type is looking at him like, there's no way. There's like, what do you mean?
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah. So one person thinks I'm lying, the other one thinks it's impossible. You're both wrong. You're both wrong. I'm not lying, and it's not impossible. I don't get bothered by things because getting bothered by things is a choice. It's not a circumstance. It's not an inevitable factor in things.
Yeah.
Being stressed is a choice. Being worried is a choice. Being anything is a choice. I can't choose what happens. I can do things, and then things will happen and cause an effect. I can't choose the effect, but I can choose my response. But if you were a student of Think and Grow Rich, you would understand that. I'm a vivid student of Think and Grow Rich. That's why I can live this way. I give my credit to that. I didn't do this on my own. I learned a philosophy from a man who spent his whole life learning how people are and how they succeed and how they fail. And I learned from that philosophy that it is in my own hands, in my control, to decide how I feel. And feeling bothered is a choice. I have a choice of going to bed feeling bothered or feeling faithful that it's all going to work out.
Yeah.
That's a choice. We're talking about perception, right? Perception is a choice. I can look at something and go, I'll give you an example, okay? There's a difference between being objective and subjective. Say I look at a tree. I say, hey, Jay, this is a tree. That's objective. There's no judgment there. It's just objective. That is a tree. We can't deny that.
Yeah.
I can say, how do I make it a subjective statement, though?
That's the tree's crooked.
No, because it might be crooked.
It might actually be crooked.
I might look at it and say that's an ugly tree.
Yes.
That's subjective.
That's an ugly tree, yeah.
So saying it's a tree is objective perception. Saying it's an ugly tree is subjective perception. Your things that happen in life, you look at subjectively. This is a bad thing.
Yeah.
This is a good thing. When you develop a strong mind, what happens is you start to look at things objectively.
Yes.
It's like this is a thing and this is another thing. Mm-hmm. Now, when you can clear your mind to the point where you look at things and go, these are just things happening and not good or bad things or terrible or right? Now you have a choice because you step one step back and you get to see things the way you would look at God would see things. God would see things objectively. Yeah. Is omnipresent, omnipotent,
omniscient,
which is what you describe as God, is all-seeing creator, right? Because the creator can see things objectively. It doesn't go, this is bad, this is good. Everything is what it is.
Yeah.
So now it's like when you're objective, you go, well, this is just the thing. This failure that just happened is just the thing, right? Well, now I have a choice as a human. What do I want to subjectively look this as? Now, here's my choice, guys. You ready for this? Here's how I go to bed at night never being bothered. I subjectively decide to choose that everything is always good. Now you got the people sitting down like, that's delusional.
Yeah.
No, your negativity is.
Yeah.
Your delusion that everything is bad is more delusional than my positivity that it's good.
Absolutely.
Because most of the time, things are really good. But we tend to make it look bad in our mind.
Yeah.
Like, you don't experience what's actually happening. You experience what you think is happening. You know, it's crazy.
See, I feel like you should say that again.
You don't experience what actually is happening. You experience what you think is happening.
Yeah.
That's what you're responding to in your body. So I have a breakup, right? You say you have a breakup with someone. One person walks away. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, guys.
We're going to censor that out. It's crazy because it's been so long since I've done it.
I know, you did so good.
One person walks away feeling, I was going to say good though, effing great.
Yes.
They're like, I'm so happy. I'm excited. I can't wait to be single now or go find someone new. They're excited, right? They look at it as a great thing. The other person walks away crushed. Oh, I lost. I'm missing out. I wish I didn't lose the person. I'm a terrible, I'm horrible, whatever. Same breakup.
Yeah.
Same breakup. What happened? One person's decided to look at things differently than the other. Now, you're going to look at the negative person and go, well, that person's realistic and the positive person's delusional. No, you're delusional. Because think about it. Is that person really a terrible person just because one person didn't want to be with them? No. Didn't really lose anything? No. So they're making things exaggeratively worse. Yeah. That's delusion. Mm-hmm. Like, you're just exaggerating things. The person that's walking away, is it not exciting to be single? Of course it is.
Yeah.
There's benefits to that. Is it not exciting to find someone better? Is that not an absolute possibility? Yeah. Absolutely. I look at that person as more realistic. So here is a little kicker. You ready for this? I'm going to hit you with a crossroad. You got to make a choice right now depending on how you want to think. Your way or the way I'm telling you to think right now. Okay, I'm going to give you a perspective. I think positive outlooks on things is more realistic than negative outlooks. But the problem is the world thinks negative outlooks on things are more realistic than positive outlooks.
Yeah.
Something bad happens and the person goes, this is going to get worse. That's normal to them. I go, no, that's abnormal. You're weird.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to work out well. But that's a choice.
Absolutely.
So make your normal that things always work out. You go, but Armin, that's not always true. How do you know? I beg to differ. It is always good if you find it. Same way it's always bad if you find it. You go, but it doesn't always work out. Sure it does. If you want it to.
Absolutely.
If you decide to look at it as it worked out. It is your choice.
Yeah.
I'll give you a really good example that you would think I can't, prove it wrong of. My dad got cancer. I look at it as, it's fine. It's good. Mm-hmm. You go, what do you mean it's good? And he passed away, by the way.
Yeah. So
you might look at that and be like, see, Armin, your positivity didn't work out. You might look at it like that. I say, you're wrong. Yeah. It did work out. You know why? Because from the moment I asked him, do you want to live and whatever, I was having a deep conversation, I already knew from the way he was thinking he's going to die. Yeah. So I accepted the worst case scenario. He's going to die. Okay, great. And I had 9 months to live with him. Yeah. And I had a great time. Guess what happened in those 9 months? I got closer to him. I spent time with him I've never spent in my entire life. I got to love him more. I helped him release things. I did things with him that maybe in the next 90 years I couldn't have done if I had treated him like he's always going to be around.
Yeah.
Because of death being so close, I actually had more quality time with him. And all my memories come from all the good times I had with him in those 9 months he was alive. Not from before. I don't remember much from before. I actually had a relationship with my dad in the 9 months he was still alive, thanks to cancer.
Yeah.
So you go, this is not delusional? No, because I took benefit out of it.
Yeah.
I grew as an individual, and so did he. Actually, I think he was one of the most happiest he ever was. Despite the cancer issues, he was the happiest with his family because he got closer to them.
Yeah.
I look at that's a choice to look at that subjectively.
100%.
Right?
Absolutely.
But someone going, well, cancer is a terrible thing, you're wrong. In and of itself, the sickness is not great. Because the sickness, the very essence of it is the fact that you've done something to mess up your body and it's paying you back for that.
Yeah.
But the experience of it is not bad. It might be painful. I watched him go through it. But you can make it into the most beautiful thing ever. Because you decide to live life every day as if it's your last.
Yeah.
So you see a person like Steve Jobs who died of cancer, but the most motivational things came out of his mind in his lasting times. You know, it's left with the world and people live differently because of it. Look at the positive contribution he's had. And he probably had the greatest quality of life in those last, how many months he had in his life. So would you rather live 1 year totally with quality, or would you rather live 50 years of your life in crap? So it's a choice.
It is absolutely. Yeah.
So how you look at things is the way your life's going to become. So you can argue with me about negativity is more normal and being positive is delusional. I think it's the opposite. I think if you don't see things in the good way, then you have exaggerated your mind to make things delusionally bad.
Yeah.
And that's your problem. That's why you're still stuck. That's why you're not doing anything. That's why you're scared, because you take in your mind, it's out of control. Your mind is out of control, and it's making you afraid of things that don't even exist anymore. So,
Huge.
Mic drop. We have a comment from Lena. Lena said, yes.
Yes.
All right.
go ahead.
Awesome. So that is so, Armin just went huge into it. But, one thing that really helped me in my earlier days, especially coming out of depression and everything of all the layers of life, is always looking for the good. In one of our past episodes, we talked about Kevin Trudeau, and he had an audio series, and he would always say in it, this is good, and I just don't know why yet. So getting into the habit of realizing that things are working for your greatest good no matter what.
Yeah.
Whether it feels bad or whatever quote description you want to put to it, everything that is happening to you is happening for you. It's happening for a purpose so you can use it later. Everything that happens is a lesson. One habit that I try to instill pretty quickly is finding something to be grateful for no matter what is happening. Because it is absolutely a choice.
Yeah.
And the more that you build up that habit, the more the more worry-free or the more carefree or stress-free you're genuinely going to be. Because you're not choosing to focus on all the bull crap that's happening. You're choosing to focus on what is good. What did I learn from the situation? How can I take all the information I've gathered and continue to push forward? Right? In my life personally, it's really been the secret sauce to always be in control. Because you can control how you react or respond to any given circumstance, right? That choice to be positive instead of negative is the game changer, ultimately.
And it's instantaneous, by the way. The moment you decide to look at something differently, you reap the benefits right away.
Absolutely.
Your body changes.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at something and being stressed and I change a perspective on it, you immediately feel peace.
Immediately.
It's so instant and it's free and it's
Yeah.
easy to do. You just need to be willing to do it and look for that. And, I'm just going to add one line to that. I used to say everything happens for a reason. Then I realized it's not true. Because there's some people, things happen, nothing happens, no reason came out of it. So I realized everything happens for a reason if you decide it does. Everything happens for a reason if you decide it does. Mm-hmm. So you better go, your job is to go find that reason.
Absolutely.
It doesn't happen unless you find that reason.
And it's funny because I was having this conversation with somebody, and it's once you start to do it, you genuinely won't stop.
Yeah.
Because the opposite, why would you want to do the opposite? Why would you want to be stressed about everything? Why would you want something
It's
to
insane.
Why would you actually do it? So I'm having a conversation with somebody, and I'm like, am I really this? Because I just listen back to things I say, and I'm like, wow, I actually sound so blindly positive. Like whatever's happening is gonna work out. And I'm like, wow, I actually sound like that. Like it's not.
But it's not blind.
It's not blind. But it's
no,
like
I think they're blind.
They describe
I think you
it as
see
blind.
because you see everything good.
Exactly.
I think the people that see everything bad, they're blind.
Yeah. Technically, eh? Wow.
They're the blind ones.
My mind just exploded.
Helen Keller said, I'm going to regurgitate the way I remember it, because I'm trying to remember word for word. It's a really good quote, actually.
Googles it. But yeah.
It's a really good quote. I don't want to butcher it. I want to say it the way it is.
And even with what you guys are saying, like over the weekend, I understood how essential it is to think. Like the way you think is so essential. That's one of the things that everyone, because
100%.
It's how you think, and that's how you're gonna see it positive.
Absolutely.
Like something happened to one of my family members.
Yeah.
And then the way they seen it, they missed the opportunity.
Yeah.
And a lot of people go around in their life.
And that's how they deal with every circumstance,
exactly,
right?
They only see the negative.
Yeah.
Instead, if they had thinking, if they thought better, they would have seen the opportunity.
Yeah. They just have to shift and be open to the possibility.
The quote is, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. So I look at like I'd rather be blind but positive than to see and have zero vision. Always everything's bad.
Honestly.
Yeah, and by the way, we gotta understand these people. Like they can't see positive because all they've seen is negative.
Yeah. We were there. Let's not. I was there.
Yeah, we were all there.
It's not like I wasn't
Want me
there.
to source it back to the root of the problem? Is that the environment creates your inner environment. Your outer environment definitely influences your inner environment. What you see every day growing up is what you start to think is the world. Okay? Now watch this. You grow up with all these sense impressions on your mind, all these different examples of what life is like, all these people, these beliefs, these ideas, and you say, this is the world now. Because you can only see it through the eyes that you've developed from the environment around you. So the unfortunate news is if you grow up in a bad environment, that is what you think the world is going to be, bad. Now, sometimes you have one good idea in that bad environment. That's all you focus on because that you choose accidentally to focus on the good. You grow up as a very optimistic person, even though you came from nothing. And then you get those inspiring people, that came from zero and like they're the most inspiring, beautiful human beings. But it's because their choice of focusing on what they focus on. Now watch this. If only people knew how powerful their own mind is, that they can decide how the outer environment is perceived, no one would have problems in life. No one would have inner environments that are rotten. It's because they have never been taught or they have forgotten that they have full control of how they're looking at things and what their inner environment is going to be like. Yeah. And that's why all success starts from the inside, not at the outside. It is nothing you get from outside. It is what you discover inside that helps you go and get the things outside. Yeah. It's like you need to have, like, the most important coach you can ever have in your life is a life coach. Like, it's a breakthrough coach. Somebody who makes you question and think about yourself. Mm-hmm. Someone who makes you think bigger about yourself. Because until that happens and the inner environment is fixed up, you have zero hope to do anything in your life. Because the inside will not allow you. It is like you are in the fastest car. You could have the fastest car, but it's chained to a building. It doesn't matter how fast you are. That building will never let you go. The building is all the limitations, the past stuff, all the crap in your head. All the things that you believe that hold you back. If you can reverse those beliefs, change them, life becomes different. But the problem is it's so easy to do, people take it for granted. They go, it can't be that simple. I can't just say I choose to believe this over that and now my life's different. Thanks, Armin. I'm just going to go work my job now and just keep saving up and hopefully win the lottery one day. That person is hopeless because they're not even willing to open their mind up to new ideas of how things could be for them. If you meet a person who has what you want, don't ever dare question their perspective because you're just ruining your own future. If you just listen to that person because they have what you want and just accept their ideas over yours, you will have their life. You will have a life that's very similar to theirs. It's like do what they do, say what they say, and you'll eventually get what they get. And your mind will never work unless it's open. Unless it's open. You have to open those doors. So it starts with your choice and desire to want change because that allows you to accept new ideas. Then it starts with the acceptance of those ideas. And then those ideas need to be put into action. And now your life changes. Nothing happens overnight, especially in this category of life. It takes time. I think the most direct example I can always keep using is if you want to get fit and develop muscle, it takes time. Yeah. You first have to accept that it's possible to gain muscle in your body. If you don't believe that, you will never try. Mm-hmm. Once you believe it, you go in to get someone who has the body you want to teach you, and you accept their ways of living and behaviors and habits and ideas. And then you start to put those ideas into practice. And guess what? A year down the road, you will have a body very similar, close to what you dream of. And that is the only way you can change a life. Through time and persistence and consistency. And by the way, for people watching, they don't know the difference between consistency and persistency. I'll give you a tiny example. Consistency is developing the habit of doing it over and over and over again on a consistent basis, regularly. Persistency has nothing to do with that. Persistence is when you are met with defeat. Mm-hmm. Do you continue on? Yes. I used to mix that up. Persistence means you keep going even though it gets hard or when you fail. Consistency just means you are doing it all the time. But then you're met with opposition, with failure, defeat. Persistence is, I'll keep going. Mm-hmm. How many time we got left here?
Oh, we're done.
Oh. We'll go back on. Make sure you post it. So everyone on Facebook, real quick, just give us a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, post it. No, post. Yeah. Just put something. Just give us a second. We want to bring Instagram back on.
Mine's gonna end. Yeah.
Yeah, it just ended. It's a great shot. You guys liking this, by the way? By the way, if you're enjoying this on Facebook, make sure you hit that like button as well on Facebook and share this video so that other people can hear this message. If you're enjoying this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and hit that little notification bell. Leave us a comment down below letting us know what you're getting out of this episode. And if you want to get your questions answered, then go ahead to askarmin.com so you can post your questions there, submit them, and we'll answer them on our live show Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time every single week, at least for the next 20-something months. 20-some
weeks, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back. Yes. We're going to go a little longer. I want to answer a few more questions. We also started late, so.
I know it's like superstition or what I'm about to say is funny, but I'm pressing like any letters just to post it after 60 seconds. I look I'm joking.
It's all superstition.
I'm joking.
It's all superstition. Can you push this one a little bit towards me? All right, what's, I don't know if there's any comments or... Just a bit.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to add to...
No. Like this.
No, you're now
like now she's cut off. Real time behind the scenes.
No.
Bring that leg back up, man. You're giving it a stanky leg. You're getting it leaning right now like Snoop Dogg. Bring it back up straight up. Okay, there we go. Now turn it this way. Just turn it. Don't touch the legs. Just like angle this way. The other way. There we go. Oh,
too far.
Whoa, that's fine. Okay, no, go back. This way a little. Stop it now. Still, don't touch it anymore.
Okay, awesome.
We're fine. That's actually perfect. I don't know how you got it so perfect, actually. That's really perfect.
But yeah, persistence is really the key, right? And I wanted to add that, in everything that we're describing, it's really important to note that life still happens. Yeah. It's not like we're trying to say that our lives are perfect all the time and, think like stuff doesn't happen. Things absolutely happen. Right? But it's how you choose to respond to what is happening. And persistence is one of those things that you really need to build the muscle of.
100%.
I like to say persistence. I like to say the word grit. Having the clear vision of what your goal is and knowing that despite all odds, you're gonna get there. It's not over until I win. Right? Like those motivational videos listen to them. Like they are saying everything you need.
That's Les Brown, right?
Yeah.
By the way, you know how he says a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still? That's not his line.
Whose is it?
Napoleon Hill.
I think,
Napoleon Hill said it in Grow Rich and Peace of Mind, which is long before Les Brown.
Wow. Well,
all these people,
you get it from
I love these speakers,
right?
but like all you people just taking Napoleon Hill's work and saying it differently a little bit. He didn't even say it differently.
Said it exactly the same.
Exactly.
What's up?
You have a comment from Lena. She said, "You guys give off such positive vibes. Amazing culture."
You're feeling our energy.
Lena, love it. No, but it's true, man. Like life, it's always funny because there's a quote that I'm kind of I'm saying a lot these days. It's new levels bring new devils.
Whoa! Don't say that.
It's just take it out of the religious context, but it just means that, in your life, you're going to be elevating at every single step, right? You're going to become a new you, a new expanded version of yourself as you climb the ladder of life. But once you take that next step, you know, naturally there's going to be something you need to overcome. There's going to be something that you're going to have to learn. There's going to be new breakthroughs that you're going to have to accept. So once you accept that, you know, I'm growing and I'm getting better day by day, and I'm naturally going to be tested, or something is going to happen where I'm going to have to expand my consciousness or get bigger and get stronger, you know that you're going to have to build that muscle of grit and persistence that you will continue despite all odds, right? It's of course, it's one of those things that people may say is easier said than done, but, you know, once you have your clear vision of what you want your life to look like, what's the opposite?
I feel like people are looking for some type of
Magic
secret
to
developing good habits. There isn't.
You just got to do it.
Like, I talked about this a long time ago, and think bigger.
Oh, think bigger.
Okay. There is no shortcut around the pain of just doing the work. But I'll tell you what the shortest cut is. Doing it. There is no path you can take where you skip the working part of everything. Mm-hmm. But the shortest path you could ever take is just going on the direct path towards it. Because every other path is going to waste your time until you figure out you're wasting time to go back to the right path. Mm-hmm. So you want a new habit, you say, Armin, any habit you want right now. Any one of you want habits? Comment it right now what kind of habit you want to develop. Whether it's eating healthier, exercising, setting goals more, building, being confident, learning how to close, overcoming failure, being positive. I don't care what habit you want to develop, okay? Reading every day, whatever. Comment it down below. I want to know what habits you want to actually develop. The answer is this. Just start doing it today. And a year from now, you will magically have the habit. If you just did it every day, over the next 365, you will magically, it'll just appear. It's like magic.
Yeah.
You'll have the habit now.
Yeah.
And I feel like some people think that there is something they're trying to search for that brings that year down to a month.
Yeah.
No. Go ask any bodybuilder, any of them, any athlete, any actor, any trader. The habit of becoming good at that thing in nature takes long. So time, unless being used intentionally to keep doing the thing to get better at it, is being wasted. So stop wasting time. Make up your mind that you want to develop this habit and just start doing it. You go, but Armin, I decide to start doing it. 4 days in, I mess up. Keep going.
I was going to say that.
You just persist.
Exactly, yeah.
Your problem is you quit after you mess up. Remember, failure is inevitable.
Yep.
Unlike Thanos. Side joke, sorry. That's this end scene. He goes, I'm inevitable. He doesn't actually kill everybody.
But he's not, yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
You know what's the crazy thing?
Yeah.
I was watching like a download video this morning, and he literally said that. He said the only reason why I'm successful because I learned from all my Sifus, which means like mentors.
Yep.
And I actually did what they did.
Yeah, that's it.
So you could give them everyone could list what they want to do, like all their good habits. Like I want to build consistent. I want to do this. I want to do that. Or you could give them like all the formula for success, which is think and grow rich.
Yeah.
The only part that differentiates men from women or men from men is the doing part. Is that he actually got the information.
They do it.
Did it.
No, but like here's the thing, man. People start doing it, and they go, but then I mess up. Messing up is okay.
It's
the thinking.
What did you think? Did you think you're going to start doing something and it all works out perfectly and never goes anyways? Have you ever been on a roller coaster? Imagine you only went up. That would be a really stupid roller coaster.
Right? Wow, that's so true.
That's a great example.
Whoa.
Ever been on a roller coaster?
Oh my God.
What's the funnest part?
Going down.
Going down.
Oh my God. That's hot. Bro, that's sick. That's a good one. Oh my God.
Okay, it's like in the journey
true.
of your goal, you don't want to keep going up. That'd be so boring.
Yeah.
But the downfalls is where you build character. You start a habit, you fail. Like guys, you think I work out every day? I don't. There was a time I worked out twice a day.
Yeah. And
then I fell off, and then I get back on. I've never gone longer than 4 days working out over the last 8 months that I've been working out. I've been working out for 8 months consistently, which I'm proud of because I look at that as the longest I've ever worked out.
Yeah.
But I also get to reap the benefits. My body's in the best shape it's ever been. So I look at that and I go, there was a time when I worked out every day, twice a day.
Yep.
And I take 1 day off a break. Now it's like I work out every other day. Do you think I'm beating myself up about, like I didn't work out this morning. I worked out yesterday, though. I didn't work out the day before that. I didn't work out. I worked out the day before that. But it's like I've never gone more than 4 days without working out. Now, if I went a week or two, right, which I have developed the discipline to never go that long because I know what will happen. But if I even did, do you know what I would do right away if I wanted to get back on track? I would just get back on track.
You would just work out again.
I just do it again. Like, you guys are making this complicated. They're like, no, now I have to seek a therapist. Now I have to meditate. Now I have to write my goals again. I have to reevaluate my whole life because it's been a week since I've worked
Maybe
out.
working out isn't for me.
Maybe it's not for me. That's the dumbest one. Maybe this isn't for me because I haven't done it for a week anymore. Maybe I'm destined to be fat, you know.
I'm big
What?
bone. I'm big bone.
I'm big. I'm thick.
It's in my
I'm
family.
skinny thick. What do you call it, Laura?
Slim
thin?
thick.
Slim thick.
Thick, yeah.
Right? No!
No.
It's not. That's not true. Just get back to work.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what Downlock said. You guys look at me, you guys think I'm perfect.
No!
Obviously, sometimes
Not.
I go off my thing and one thing is that I come back.
Come back.
Listen.
Exactly.
In driving, you never drive a straight line. It is virtually impossible.
Yeah.
You're always maneuvering. But you still get to the destination, don't you? Imagine you start going on the lane and then you like skid off a little bit and you get back and you're like, I gotta stop this car.
I can't drive.
I can't. No, imagine how stupid this sounds. Think about this. Really good example. You're driving on the lane and you skid a little bit, just a bit. You're like, oh shit, I can't do this. I have to stop the car. I have to turn back. I'm going to tow this. I have to like take an Uber back. Driving is not for me. Or you get a coach. Every time I drive, it's maneuvering. Okay, so keep driving. But I'm afraid to maneuver again. What are you talking about? That's a part of it. Why are you afraid of something that's inevitable? It has to happen. What do you mean? Well, what if I maneuver and I mess up? You haven't, so keep going. Oh, but I don't know. Maybe driving's not for me. I should take a bike, yeah? I'm like, bikes are harder.
Bikes are absolutely harder. More dangerous.
So my point is, like, think about how ridiculous that sounds. Well, that's what you're doing with your goals.
So true.
That's literally what you're doing with your goals. You're going towards something that you want to develop or build or achieve. You maneuver a little bit and you go, I gotta quit now. Mm-hmm. What? What'd you think? Did you think it's just gonna all work out? Like nothing? Like because you're so special? Because you know the most successful people in the world didn't fail ever, right? Maybe they didn't. You were expecting to not fail at all. Really? Really?
Oh, that foot. I like that one.
That's an old meme.
But it's so true. It's so true.
If you guys are getting this, by the
Yeah.
way, comment down below. But like, I get it. I totally get it. Maybe I resonate. Write some stuff down.
We got a comment from Lena. Lena said, you guys just made my day. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no
We
problem.
have another comment for her. She said what she wants to exercise on is being confident.
Yeah. Oh, that's easy. Have a goal to work towards, and don't let anyone ever discourage you about achieving it. And then your goal will make you confident because you know what you're working towards. That's how you build confidence. Confidence is not just a thin air habit you build. Confidence comes from knowing what you want in life. You can't develop confidence without knowing what you want in life. It's very hard, actually. Mm-hmm. Because when someone wants to like ask you more deeper questions, you don't know the answers because you don't know yourself or what you want, and you become very insecure. So the only way to develop real confidence is to have a goal in life that you're working towards that's big and it makes you excited. That's what gives you confidence. Not acting confident. That's arrogance. It's very different.
I would also add that that's number one, but you have to accept every single part of yourself. Genuinely.
Like even this pinky toe, even though it's a little weird, like you have to accept that little pinky toe on the left foot.
Yeah, like every single part of who you are and what you aren't. Just accept it. You know, acknowledge that there's no other person in this world like you. You are created as your own individual being, and you have something that you need to bring to the world. Your goal, right? Whatever you're working towards, only you can bring it forth. But only that can happen when you accept every single facet of who you are as an individual. All of it. And then you just keep going, despite all odds, right?
So here you guys, I'm going to give you the actual, I know I've been being really motivational. Let me just give you the practical step-by-step process on how to do what we're talking about. You ready? Start working towards your goal. Okay. Do whatever you got to do. Start now. Whatever you can, just think about a start. Okay. The habit. At the first time, the first moment you mess up, wait for it. Just keep going. There you go. There's your step-by-step process, how to develop persistence and discipline yourself. and have positive attitude in life.
Thanks for coming.
That's it.
Genuinely, yeah.
It's not that it's that simple, but it's hard to do it.
Yeah.
Is it hard to do? I don't know. You know why it's hard to do? Because people have a lot of crap in their head that's making them think differently and think in ways that ruin them. Mm-hmm. That's why I spent 3 days in Rebor or 8 weeks on an online program to teach how to do this. Because if it was like, if I really wanted to, I'd charge $5,000 for people to come to a seminar where it changes their life, because that's worth the money to change their entire life, right? Instead of dying unhappy in life. I would get all the people in the room. I'd spend 1 hour telling them a story about how I changed my life so they're inspired by example. And then at the end of it, I'd be like, so here's the answer. Set a goal, start working towards it, and don't stop until you get it. Thank you for coming. That's literally the answer. That you want the answer, you want personal development in a nutshell, what everything, every book you read, every seminar you go to, every speaker you hear, every lesson you learn, all the quotes you read on Pinterest, everything that hits you is trying to tell you to do one simple thing. Set your goal, work towards it, don't stop until you get it. But all of the gunk and the trouble and the problems and the resistance come in the duration of don't stop until you get it.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you create an entire multi-billion-dollar industry of trying to teach people how to manage themselves in the process of don't stop until you get it.
Yeah. It's true.
Insane. So thank you for having problems. Because you allowed us to create a business. I'm serious. I'm talking in like I'm not talking in a condescending way. I think about when I started my coaching business, I remember I'm like, so wait. I'm like learning coaching, right? I'm like, so I know how to help people solve their problems in life. But like everyone has problems. And then I thought about it, I'm like, the entire world is my customer base. That's incredible.
Never-ending clients.
Never-ending unlimited clients. It's like there'll never be a moment in time where no person in this world has problems. Because every day there are hundreds of thousands of babies being born across the world. And by the time I finish, even if I single-handedly or somehow change the entire world's life, by the time I'm done with them, another whole generation of people have been messed up by the past messed up people. So you have never-ending clients as a coach. That is, first of all, one of the greatest reasons why you should build a coaching business, because you will never run out of clients. Ever. Helping people will never die.
It's true.
But I'm happy because even out of other people's problems, beautiful things come out of it because people build businesses and live their dreams of helping people. Think about it like this. It's a harmonious exchange. Like if someone didn't have a problem and I didn't have a solution, we couldn't do business.
Yeah.
So their problem is actually a good thing for both of us because they get to have breakthroughs and have that emotional experience, and I get to have, the income and the business and the impact I have. Doesn't mean keep your problems. I'm saying like solve your problems. It's just everybody else who isn't watching the show, they won't know that, and so they'll still have problems and they'll need someone eventually. So yeah, I'll let you call if we should keep going or
well, we can end at 1:30. You think we can fit in this next question
in 5 minutes?
In 5 minutes?
What time is? What is it? What's the question? I can't read.
How do you instill confidence in your team? I think that's a 5-minute answer. It's actually probably like a 10-second answer for you.
Trying to think about it. How do I instill confidence in my team? You guys confident?
Yeah.
First I have to ask, I can't just think. You confident?
Yeah.
You confident?
Yes.
Imad, are you confident? I hear him. Yes. You confident?
100%.
Why?
Why am I confident?
What makes you confident by working here? Or working with me? Let's have the team answer.
Ooh, I like this. Your definiteness of purpose. You know exactly what you want. You're
Mine?
willing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know exactly what you want, and you're willing to go towards it with no inhibition, no anything like that. Like, it's there, it's clear, it's concise, and I'm like, yep, 100%. He knows where he's going. I know where I'm going. That's one for me.
Yeah, Isaiah and I were talking about this earlier today about influence and how you have influence over us, and I said I think you have that just because of the clarity that you have, and it makes all of us feel more at peace, and like we know that if we go with you, we're going to learn more about ourselves, we're going to learn like everything on how to build a business, and it just makes us feel more comfortable and clear as well, just because you have that clarity.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes me confident.
That's a really good answer. These are really good answers. Isaiah?
What makes me confident is just every morning I come in and I look at you, and because everyone that I study, Think and Grow Rich, I see it in you, and that gives me confidence because I'm like, wow, if if he was able to do that, I can do that too. So why don't I just grow and just serve him, and I could just be like that. So that just gives me confidence in myself every single day.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you are like an example, and it's not just I'm not just reading, but I just see it right here.
I have another one.
Representation of, I guess if you started off as a kid, I grew up in Jane Finch. Like I could be reading and reading and reading, and then you find someone who's literally the representation of what you want to have, or who you want to be, or the qualities that you want to have.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wow, so he has that. So why am I even? If he was able to do that from here, then, like, you know, it just becomes like a no-brainer. And I never had that confidence instilled in me. So I guess if you want to have confidence in your team, you have to be the person that starts with you.
Yeah.
They have to look up to you, or not look up to you, but just see yourself in you, or who they want to become.
Yeah.
In you. And I guess that'll give them like the confidence that they need.
Interesting.
It's huge. I was having a conversation actually with, so my friends are starting to watch CLEARTALK more, and they're like, wow, so is Armin really like that? Like, random people are like, is he actually a good leader? And I'm like, 100%. And it's because, one, what we've already discussed, right? The clarity. He's a living example of the things that we all, like, we're all students of Think and Grow Rich. Like, to be here, you got to be a student of Think and Grow Rich. And he's a walking, breathing example of that. But a close, like, number 2 in my mind is he genuinely wants what's best for you. He wants to bring what's in you out. Like, the power that is within you is his number 1 focus, to make sure that you recognize that within you and to bring it out to the forefront, right? Like, I don't even, it's like you can't even doubt him. It's like in your brain, you're like, what? Why would I doubt him? I know what he's trying to do, and I know that he always has my best interest at heart. He's always working towards what's going to be good for me just as much as it's going to be good for him, right? We're like, it's not even like, it's like he's got this goal and he's got this purpose, but as much as we're on the team, it's like we're a part of that, you know? You never doubt that you're a part of the goal, that you're a part of the outcome. It's just like, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's kind of hard to describe, but it's like, it's just a next level of certainty. Like, it's so clear, so concise.
You know what's also cool? Like, every time when I come in, and it's like, it's so cool because you're growing too. Like, sometimes I'll look at you and I'll see the challenges that you're going through and how you're accepting and how you're going through it. Or sometimes you tell us something, but I know that you're learning something new. And I look at that and I'm like, whoa, this man is always like, you know,
always learning.
And always, yeah. What are you doing? Let's go.
And humble enough to share it.
Exactly.
You know? Like, it's not like he's like hiding behind it. No, this is like a Love Armin fest. But it's like, a leader, I think the most powerful components of a leader is letting you know that, like, I'm working too. You know, just as much as I'm trying to teach you to work, I'm working too. I'm a human being on the same journey that you are. I'm going to learn every day. I'm going to push myself every day, and you're going to see it because we're going to do it together. And it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's work towards our goals. It's just so awesome.
It helps you too. Like, sometimes let's just say you hit like an adversity, right? Or not adversity. Let's just say something happened. We lost all recordings, and I'll look at you and I'll be like, okay, how's he gonna take this? I do that in my mind. I'm just gonna be real. I'm like, how's he gonna take this? Let me look. And then he takes it. You can see that he goes through it in his head, and he accepts it. And he's like, okay, let's just go. And I'm like, so if I hit an adversity, Armin did this. Why am I doing that? You see, so I guess it also helps me when it goes to like challenges, just seeing you go through something and how you take it. And I'm like, wow. Or sometimes I'll be like, okay, he's learning. I know he's gonna understand this, and then I'll see what he got from it. And you're also sharing it to us as you go through the process.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool to have. I guess as a leader, you should also be transparent, and I'll make the whole team transparent with you also, to instill confidence. Because I'll come up to you and be like, Armin, I'm going through this, because I'm transparent only because you made yourself transparent.
Yeah. So
it's like we become like a reflection of who you are.
Absolutely.
So I guess it starts with you, like change yourself. Like how you keep on saying it. If you want to instill confidence in people, just change yourself, and then I guess you attract people that is just like you, or growing to be like you. So it's like that.
There's your answer. I couldn't have said it better myself. So it was said the best way. I only leave someone with this. Let's say you're watching this and you go, well, let's say they think that they have all these qualities.
Yeah.
Then you have the problem with the person who goes, but my people still don't have confidence. If that's the case, you need better people.
That's true.
So the last thing I'll top this off with the cherry, because you guys pretty much baked the cake really nice. is I'll leave you with one extra thing. I've had many types of people come through my business. I'm still the same person. But how did they end up like this and they ended up not here? It's because I choose the people. And getting really good at knowing how to choose the right people is also just as important as being the example you want them to emulate. Because you can be a hawk leading a bunch of chickens. You'll never make them fly. So I got really good at finding hawks. Now, I didn't go looking for them, but when I met them, I knew they were one. And when you say like the way Isaiah is saying is, which is be the example first. So go and do it yourself so you're a living, walking example of it. Because as you can tell, they're saying that their confidence comes from watching me live it. Their confidence comes from my certainty in myself, so they become certain in me and in themselves. And it's funny because in the self-confidence formula, okay, I should just read that to end the show with, because you're asking about confidence.
Yeah.
So I'll read the 5-part self-confidence formula that Napoleon Hill made. A part of it, by the way, is that I'll cause others to believe in me because I'll believe in them first and in myself. Which is interesting, you know. I'll serve them first so they can serve me. And this, I'll read it before we end the show. But just to end off, if you're a person who is emulating you, you believe that. First of all, you have to be honest. If you know there's more things you got to work on, like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm just going to be real with you. I don't need it. I have memorized. It's cute, though. If you try to bring me the book, thank you.
Jeez. He doesn't need it.
I've been reading for a
See,
while.
right there, in my head, I'm like, damn, step your game on me.
He's like, Isaiah, you got it memorized yet? It's a really long script, but I memorized it because I wanted to. But my point is, at the end of the day, like if you're trying to lead and you're very unhealthy, like you eat unhealthy in front of your team, you don't exercise, you don't take care of your body, it is hard to instill certainty in them because of the lack of discipline you have in your own certainty in yourself. So it's just hard. At the end of the day, I also, at the time, maybe I had great people before me, by the way. Before the team now, maybe I had great people, but I wasn't great yet. Because I also wasn't this disciplined myself a year ago or 2 years ago. I was very much childish in my head. I was still learning things. Maybe those people were having the power potential to grow with me, but I wasn't able to lead them. And I could see that, by the way. So not everyone is bad. I'm not saying I'm the perfect one. But I'm saying now that I know I have worked on myself and there's no part of my area of life that I think I've lacked, I see the benefit from them. And it's like she started working out. Isaiah started working out. Imad started working out. Lauren was working out. I'm like, how come? I never told them to work out, by the way.
Yeah.
Never.
We almost always eat healthy.
Almost always, yeah.
Except for a cheat meal.
But we eat a lot healthier.
Oh, yeah.
Reading, everyone reads Think and Grow Rich. It's because I'm doing it first. So the very, very fundamental is like, don't ever tell your team to do something you're not doing yet yourself or have done. And I love how you guys said it, because when I look at it myself, I go, certainty. When I started my business, I had an epiphany. My epiphany was I'm so young, so underqualified. Why would anyone want me as their coach? And all I came down to was one little breakthrough I had, which is if I'm more certain than they are, they wouldn't doubt me. And sure enough, that's exactly how it ended up. That every time I came off more certain than the other person, I influenced them more. And so Lauren said it really well, because certainty is what creates great leadership. Certainty in their own abilities, certainty in their vision, certainty in their goal, certainty in themselves, and certainty in the people. I'm also certain that all of these guys can be great. I don't doubt them. I'm certain that they can be great, right? Certainty is a very important quality of leadership, because the moment you feel your leader, the person you're leading, or your followers believe, like the team thinks like, I don't know if he's confident in himself anymore, or if he knows where he's going, they start losing faith in you. But it's like every day, meticulously as a habit, I'm certain in what I want. That's why it's important to read your goals every day. That's why it's important to keep persisting and never stop, because your team will resemble that. So let me end off with a self-confidence formula from Napoleon Hill. I'm going to read every word and just internalize it for a moment. Think about what I'm saying. Watch the replay over and over. Watch this episode over and over so you can develop real confidence in yourself and for your team. So there's 5 parts. First, I know I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent and aggressive continuous action toward its attainment. Second, I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually seek expression through practically Second, I realized that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually seek expression and transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I demand of myself 30 minutes daily of thinking of the person I intend to be by creating a mental picture of this person and then transforming that picture, that image of myself, into through practical service. Third, I know that through the power, because I'm on pressure right now, I do it every day. Third, I know that through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of realizing it. Therefore, I shall devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of the factors named in the 15 lessons of this reading course on the law of success. Pretty much meaning you read the book and you make sure 10 minutes a day, you make sure you're doing it. You're doing what the book is telling you, which is Think and Grow Rich. Fourth, I've clearly mapped out a description of my definite purpose in life for the coming 5 years. I've set a price on my services for each of these 5 years, a price that I intend to earn and receive through the strict application of efficient, satisfactory service, which I will render in advance, going the extra mile. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth, this is my favorite part, is the part I live by. So this is the part I actively had to put in my life, actually, as a habit. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I shall engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to me the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will eliminate envy, jealousy, selfishness, cynicism, and I say criticism and ridicule, all of that, by developing love for all of humanity, because I know that a negative attitude toward others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I'll believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory once a day, and I'll read out loud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my entire life and my subconscious mind so that I will become a successful and happy worker in my chosen field of endeavor. So I have that signed. I don't have to read it anymore because I just have it, but I have it signed from January 1st, 2019. That's because I rewrote it. Mm-hmm. Since 2016, I've had it written down. I used to write it out every day and then read it. So that's the formula. You follow those 5 things, confidence, like you develop those 5 things in you, you will be a very confident leader. And you don't need to instill confidence. The thing is here, the misconception. You don't instill confidence in a team. You bring it out of them. You can't put confidence in a person. You can only create an environment where they bring it out of themselves. So stop trying to control your people. More so just control your own mind. And they'll learn by watching. Now you got good A players on the team. You got superstars.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Because for me, my thing was also like my thinking, right? Like just coming up with ideas in my mind. Like, because I used to be poor, I used to have a poor mindset. And now I'm trying to gain a rich mindset, wealthy mindset, thinking positive. So sometimes I'll look at what you're saying and in my head I'm like, oh my, I think like that. So that boosts my confidence in my own thinking.
Yeah.
So as soon as sometimes when you're saying something, I'm like, whoa, I do think like that. Oh, I do act positive in this situation. Yeah, I am like that. And I'm building like my own confidence in my own thinking and who I am. So I'm like, yeah. So when something comes in my head and I write it down, I'm like, this is good.
Yeah.
Because I am thinking right. Because why am I thinking right? Because of this and this and this. Armin did this and this and this. And I was thinking just like that. So it also gives me confidence in the way I think and the way I move forward.
100%. I will. I tipped him the max amount of tip I could have given him.
So on my Instagram, Jordan said, Armin, give your barber a raise because his cut is just so nice.
Yeah. By the way, if you guys want a haircut like this, you go to Rendezvous Barbers. There's 3 locations they have. I'm sure they're all open now. They have they're super safe. They have masks and face guards and dividers. They have everything. The barbers I recommend, if you're going to Wellington's location, Rendezvous Barbers, go to Jabber. He's incredible. Or in Scarborough, go to Ibrahim. Those 2, they cut my hair. So Ibrahim did this one. And Jabber did anyways, I'm just trying to send some business. They're really good over there. I've been cutting my hair with them for 7 years. Yeah. 7 years. I haven't cut my hair anywhere else. Other than this barber place. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, guys, the whole formula, what Armin is talking about, Think and Grow Rich, so a friend did that.
Beat up ass boo.
Armin is talking about Think and Grow Rich, so I can even put maybe a link on it below so you can go get a book of Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, go to Amazon and find Think and Grow Rich. The 1937 edition is the best one in my opinion, but there's other ones as well. And if you're ever nearby me, I have them in my trunk now. So remember I told you on that one episode
Yeah.
we're gonna hand them out. I have 10 of them in the back.
Okay, I have some in my back too. We gotta schedule that. We gotta do that.
Yeah. Yeah. that's what I want.
Awesome. This has
Cool.
been a great episode.
Well, look, if you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button on YouTube and that little notification bell so that you can get updates on episodes and valuable training videos coming out to help you build a business and achieve your goals in life. And leave us a comment letting us know what was the main thing you got out of this episode. If you're on Instagram, send this as a DM to somebody, share it, comment on the actual Instagram live that we post afterwards so we can hear your thoughts as well, and send it to someone who might need to hear the message. And if you're on Facebook, you know I love you so much, guys, because you join us every single week. And if you hit that like, care, wow button, whatever button, just hit something so you can let us know you're here. Comment down below what you loved out of this as well. Maybe share it on your wall. Someone might hear it and might change their perspective about something. It might help them out with something they're going through in life. So if you want your questions answered on the show, you just got to go to askarmin.com and submit your question there, and we will take it live. We have it on the list here of all the questions that are asked, and we answer live on the show every week on Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, I'm your host, Armin Shafi. This is the best co-host in the planet.
Jeanette O'Durl.
And this is the Clear Talk Show, the #1 show for entrepreneurs who need clarity. Go on and make the rest of your week the best of your week.